Rin fans, tell me, how does it feel to never know pain? What? What's up, guys? It's that guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Ain't another fun fact. Come on now, you know what time it is. It's peak luck time, and it's peak every week, so you know we gotta pre-drop. But here we are for chapter 321 of Pig Waffle, which is, wow, actually, I just realized 321. 321. Insatiable. And I'll admit, a lot of y'all did. Y'all talked me down. Ref, you can go back on the pitch. It's perfectly logical. It's perfectly. I get it. Oh, I didn't even realize they were here. How come we didn't? Well, not that. But I didn't even realize they were they shown in earlier panels? I mean, that's so sweet that they made it. I mean, obviously, it would make sense, you know, their whole. I'm assuming they. Now I wonder, do they still have to pay for tickets? Because this is Isagi's parents and Bachiro's mom. Notably, though, we didn't see. Well, then again, I doubt the Mikage. Like, I don't even think Ryo's dad likes that Ryo's playing soccer. And I'm not sure how much. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if the mom is even supportive of him in that either. So I'm not sure either of them would be here. So I get why we didn't see their reaction for Ryo's goal. Rin's parents are kind of a weird case. Like, obviously they supported Sei, but I'm not sure how much they actually support their second son. And obviously Sei isn't here, so that explains why we don't see them. And this reaction, very interesting that we're seeing the Isagi's parents, though. To just say, like, well, then again, I'll give Mr. Isagi this. He looked very mad that his son just got clipped. He looks very furious. He's like, what do you mean? Ref, do something. No, admittedly, like I said, I know Rin doesn't actually have infinite flow, and that's a misconception of misnomer, right? He doesn't actually have that. He still needs to flicker on, and it's still very specific to Isagi and Sei in particular. Like, that's why he clip farmed on Isagi, right? Like, he didn't clip farm on anybody else. But Mr. Isagi is just like your boy. Like, how does he keep getting away with this? He keeps clipping my son. First he clipped for him back in the Neo English League. Now he's clipping on him again on the world stage. Meanwhile, Miss Isagi's just like, at least my son helped. He may have literally been a stepping stool or like a sitting tool, but at least he helped. And Bachiro's mom's just here for it. Shoot, I'm here for her. Bachiro, do you need a new father, bro? I may be, well, I can't say young, but I may be middle-aged, but I'm ready to give you all my love. But super goal indeed. Golly, man. Rin fans, it's just so easy. Rin's never, like, he's never gonna, like, and here's the thing, I've started to like Rin, right? Like, notably, I was very much indifferent to the character, but, like, he's slowly but surely, you know, like, I don't want to say it's like Stockholm Syndrome, but he has kind of, like, dug a hole into my heart and refuses to leave. So, like, I am slowly but surely falling into the Genjutsu, alright? But, I just realized this guy's literally doing an up yours. Dog, really? But, with it being the case, oh wait, actually, yeah, no, it is showing. Rin fans, like, he unironically, I suppose, was the safest investment ever, but he's not even paying dividends anymore. Like, he truly is quadrupling your value. I cannot imagine how well off people who invested in Rin from the second he was introduced are. Like, you've got to be so, while every single Baro investor, every single Kunigami investor, and definitely every single Shido investor is in shambles right now. Their portfolios are looking garbage, but they're holding out. Rin, you just don't lose. Even when he was being clip farmed on, he still looked cool. Even when Rin was being clip farmed on, he still had aura. And of course, he just does this nonsense, bro. I'm telling you, Rin fans, y'all just don't lose. I know I have stuff invested in him. My portfolio is doing rather well, and obviously, Isagi has to get the final goal. If Isagi doesn't score this game, we're banishing him to Fraud Watch forever as one of the biggest Isagi investors ever. We will banish that man. But Super Goal, Rainy Toshi, Man's a monster. But let's not waste more time. Let's actually get into the chapter itself. Once again, Nomura Sensei just flexing their insane art variety, dog. Like, what are these faces, bro? Like, once again, just look at the like actual Blue Lock styled characters and look at these faces. I'm telling you, this cannot be like, I know he has assistants. This has to be somebody else. But at the same time, it really isn't. Nomura just has a very deep bag artistically. Let's see. Super goal using Yoichi Isagi's back. That's crazy. That was a literal back shot. Oh man, I wish I had realized that for the last review's passcode, bro. That was a literal back shot. I always joke about characters giving each other back shots, especially in BL. But that was actually a literal real life back shot. Because he took the shot from his back, dog. That's crazy. Isagi, how you go get back shots on live TV in front of the entire world? From a guy a year younger than you, mind you. Like dog, really? Let's see. Using Isagi, darn. Using Yoichi Isagi's back. No, borrowing his back. The two fit together like two cogs and unleash an explosive spinning gear shot. Rinitoshi's goal brings Japan up to a 3-0 lead. It's over. Oh, Nigeria, I'm sorry, my people. I'm sorry this has to be done to you. It's unfortunate. Do not worry. Loki will get back to end it all. I'm telling you, Loki will curb stomp all of Blue Lock. I hope from the bottom of my heart that that's the case. I feel like it must be. But, darn. And sticking it, like, after he's sticking his tongue out after he just gave you back shots, Isagi. Are you not gonna run his fade right now? Are you not gonna, like, I don't care if the whole world is watching. You gotta get your lick, he'd lose. Unironically, Isagi would definitely still lose, like a hand-to-hand fight with Red, so I get why he wouldn't try, but still. Isagi, no, your mom and dad are here. Your mom and dad are here. Let's see. Was that what you were planning, you wild beast? Okay. Hop off. Isagi. Hop off his jump. Let's see. I just kept an eye on you, logic demon. But see, like, the glaze works because obviously, you know, Ren, he's the strongest, right? So him glazing Isagi, it's just Isagi upscale too. But like, I don't know. Which one of you is really the demon, dog? He's like, Ren, be so for real right now. One of you just did, like, I'm not, like, it's not impossible. I've never seen anything like it though. Like, can someone like reference me a goal that like was ever scored like this, leaping off somebody's back? Like, obviously, I still think like Kaiser Impact is better because he was like actually getting fouled and like he literally had to roll into the back and then do the bicycle kick, which I still think is better. But in terms of like just the sheer insane, like using your own teammate as a platform, like what do you mean? Let's see. But of course, this does still fit into the whole idea of why Rin truly doesn't have infinite flow, and why he still technically needs to evolve, right? Because he only entered that state because it was Isagi. Say Isagi, for one reason or another, is subbed off in a later game, or even, well, not in this game. I'm assuming this game probably it's not going to last much longer. But assuming Isagi subbed off in another game for some reason, and Rin doesn't have Isagi, but he's put in a very similar situation, I just don't think it would happen, right? The chemical reaction would not occur. He wouldn't, like, turn Shigiri, or even, like, let's say someone bigger. Like say he's co-striking with Baro, right? I don't think he'd probably be able to physically do it to Baro, but I don't think his ability to latch on to Baro would be the same as latching onto Isagi. So Rin's evolution still lies in the fact that he is, in fact, very, very tunnel visioned. He needs to branch. It's unironically, he needs to branch out his destructive instincts more. Isagi's unfortunately wormed a little bit too deep into Rin's dome. That he's actually it's limiting Rin's potential, which of course is actually bringing out more Rin's potential because they're still in the pitch together. But just in general, if Rin wants to be the greatest on his own, he needs to evolve beyond Isagi and share that destructive impulse with the entire world. I just kept an eye on you, logic demon. When Bunhead moved into block. Oh, Nazi, I tell you to fight him, but you probably lose too. Maybe if y'all gank him, maybe if y'all gank this 16-year-old, maybe y'all stand a chance, but even then, maybe not. When Bunhead moved in to block us, you would have just used your 2 Splagooter to get around him and score if I did nothing. So I decided to swipe it away before then. And that was when I was inspired to make that shot. Ah, okay. So But once again, this is technical Isagi plays, right? The idea that Rin knew that Isagi knew ball well enough that ultimately Onazi coming in the block wasn't even relevant. Onazi truly had been adapted to not 2 chapters in, and like Rin is like, I know he was irrelevant. Essentially, Rin said, if I let that play get off, you would have scored. That is Rin literally admitting you knew ball in that moment, and I knew you knew ball so well that the only way I could stop you from proving to the entire world that you knew ball was literally stealing the ball mid-shot position. Once again, I cannot emphasize enough that Rin flipped onto Isagi's back, and Isagi managed to support himself while only on one leg because he was going in for the shot. Which is crazy. Let's see. That was when I was inspired to make that shot. I will transcend you by full... Wait. Never mind, there we go. I will transcend you by fully devoting these impulses to scoring goals. Then, when that foolish big brother joins the Japanese team, I'll be a striker who can utterly negate his existence. No, but that being the case, Rin's tunnel vision, like, notably last chapter I talked a lot about the idea of how Rin's impulses being so self-destructive wasn't actually a good thing. And while I found him leaping on Isagi's back still innately destructive to a degree, but it was destructive of other people, not at the cost of himself. So I think that is healthier. But still, like I was just talking about, the tunnel vision, the overwhelming focus on both Isagi and Sei. It's not the best. And I'm not even saying that Rin's gonna be booty buns fodder when he's like not playing specifically with Isagi or Sei, right? Like clearly he's still just a high enough level player on his own. But in order for Rin to reach the apex of his potential, the thing that Rin will have to evolve past, I think what will be Rin's lesson throughout the U20 is that Isagi and Sei are not enough, right? Like ultimately what he was supposed to learn over that training to like free himself of those burdens, or at least like understand them but then move beyond them, is that he needs an evolution that transcends individuals. He must want to destroy the world itself. Maybe even at the cost of himself to some degree, right? Like those risky plays. But he should be able to do it to Chigiri, to Boro, to Bacha, to anyone. Like no matter what the scenario is, Rin's willingness, want, desire, it needs to destroy, needs to branch out, it needs to evolve. It needs to consume everything. Because one thing that Isagi has currently that Rin doesn't is that ability to draw in, consume, and utilize everybody. From his own team to his opponents, right? Once Isagi develops an understanding, he's able to work all of that into his logical purview and use everything at his disposal. Where Isagi's development needs to come from is the ability to exert his will even faster, to get even better at doing that. Once again, the idea of the fastest piece being involved with better physical stats, more shot variety, stuff like that. Like, ultimately, Isagi's mental purview of the game is not necessarily perfect, but it's darn near. Meanwhile, Rin's mental purview of the game, it's too narrow, it's too focused. It needs to broaden, but he already has the physical specs. Meanwhile, Isagi, he doesn't need to narrow his worldview, but he needs to broaden his strengths and his utility and his variety, so he can be more than someone to get clip farmed on, bro. Please, what's it? Good, keep it up. The more you transcend your imagination, the more I'll use it to get stronger. Like Isagi, I'm happy you believe that, potato chip, but like, do I need to roll the clip again? Like, I don't know. And this is why Isagi needs to score. Like, obviously, like, if we're only getting 4 goals, that seems to be the consensus. I don't think we're getting, like, 5, 6, or 7. If we're gonna get 4, like, Isagi needs to score. No, admit, now call me, I know he's the main character, so it makes sense that he scores the last goal. But I am getting a little bored of that, right? Like, if anything, I liked, both Barcha and Manshine matches for not ending with the Isagi goal. I'm perfectly fine with Isagi being foundational to the final goal. That was the case in both Barcha and Manshine. But I low-key, I want other characters to score the last goal. But it is narratively satisfying Isagi does. And this is the first match, right? Like, he may not score the last goal. They likely won't even win against France. Once again, I'm still on that camp. They're not going to be friends. But the likelihood won't win against France. So Isagi may be the first goal of that one, or he may be the second goal, or the third, or if they get that many goals at all against France. And then England, I could see Isagi potentially not being the one to score the final goal, because we have so many matches ahead, right? What was like the bare minimum number? Wasn't like 8? Like 8 was the bare minimum number of matches we have coming up in this arc. So there definitely is variety. But if Isagi does end up scoring the final goal, and it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And it does fit into the whole idea of what Ego was talking about last chapter, the idea of heroism, right? And ultimately, what you remember the most is the end of something. Not necessarily, well, the beginning, depending on the narrative, a middle, and the end. Like, notably, for example, I talk about Kingdom Hearts all the time. One of the biggest weaknesses I think Kingdom Hearts 3 has, despite how much I personally love it, it is literally my second favorite game in the series, so trust me, I still do love Kingdom Hearts 3. I do really one sometimes, like 1 and 3 fight back and forth in my head. 2 is at 1. But the reason I think 2 stands at such a strong point, even in comparison to 1, which 1 does have a relatively defined middle with the return to Traverse Town, but Kingdom Hearts 2 has a very strong beginning, a very strong middle, and a very strong end. So when I think of that game, it comes to mind, okay, the strong middle, the strong beginning, the Roxas prologue, the strong middle, the Hollow Bastion invasion, the strong end, the world that never was. For Kingdom Hearts 3, it has a strong beginning-ish in the Hercules plot. Then it doesn't really have a middle. And then it has a super duper strong end. For Kingdom Hearts 1, it has a strong beginning in Destiny Islands, a relatively strong middle in the Return to Traverse Town, and then a very strong end in the end of the world. And that's the thing, when you have those 3 midpoints. But notably, what sticks with me the most in all those games, and why Kingdom Hearts 3 is consistently fighting against Kingdom Hearts 1, and will occasionally have me at least think some parts of it are better than Kingdom Hearts 2, is because of how strong the end is. So ultimately, the idea of heroism, what will stick with you the most, what will stick with the world the most, isn't Rin, who scored the 3rd goal, isn't Bachara, who scored the 1st goal, isn't Reo, who scored the 2nd goal, especially not Reo. It will be whoever scores the final one, and if Isagi is truly meant to live up to his legacy as the heroic Demon King, he does kind of need to score the last goal. So, like, narratively, it makes sense, and we do have time to get more mix-ups on who's going to score the final goal. So, it is a complaint in the loose sense of the word. And this is funny, because I am, like, clowning on Isagi so much, despite him literally being my favorite character. Which is really rare. Like, well, to be fair, New Gen has been hitting me, where at least 2 of the series, my favorite character is the main. Yeah, I also really like Tantra from Demon Slayer, so actually maybe 3. I need to think of who is my favorite Demon Slayer character. I mean, actually, so that may be a 3P, because I love Yuji's my favorite character in JJK, Isagi's my favorite character so far from Blue Lock, Michael, Kaiser at a close second, and then I really like Tantra, so like, that may be a 3P. But that being the case, let's see. Isagi, I hope so. Let's see. Can't let those 2 have all the fun. Next one is gonna be Chigiri. I wish I could believe that. I really do. Let's see. No, it's Karasu? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second. Now, Karasu, I want to be all too mad at that big potato chip. Go ahead and get you a goal. Hold on. When was the last time we got a Karasu goal in the main manga? It's been like literal years. So I wouldn't be mad. I know he scored. I believe he scored in episode Augie, but like I'm talking in the main. Okay, let's see. Yes, 3-0. So fun fact, if it wasn't obvious, I do stream on Fridays now, mostly consistently, and I'm planning, hopefully, super breaking meta for a bit. This video, as long as all goes to plan tonight, is probably gonna come out on Thursday. I'm recording it the day it dropped on 2 Disley. I'm going to brute force myself, even though I'm a little bit eepy, to record this. This is the 3rd review I recorded tonight. The first 2 being a Chainsaw Man review and then a Free Run review. This will probably drop on 3rd Disley. So I'm probably going to be live 3rd Disley night, mainly because I'll have all my videos done for the week. The only other thing I may have to record tomorrow on Wednesday, if I'm not live Wednesday night, is like the reaction video for That Got the Reaction, which you can check out. I need to start looking at that in the descriptions too. That Got the Reaction. I just do live reaction videos over there. But I do stream all the time. I release and try to stream more and more and more. I do stream on Fridays at 8. But in the stream discussions, all the point why I brought up streams is very specifically because we're just going down the list of baddies, and somehow Henri didn't come. Well, I think she came up for like 5 seconds. I don't know. So this might be Henri being like one of the few female characters. I think it's because I think of BL so much as BL. Like I almost honestly forget female characters are there. Unfortunately, Henri included. So good to have you, Henri. quality. Let's see. Yes, 3-0. We've got this. Yep. Corona, my poor baby boy, please. Please touch the field at least once. Not in this game, though. The first match of a tournament is tough, but they're all doing so well. Their offense is perfect. Their way of scoring is perfect. Even their new ways of finding new patterns is perfect. France is going to literally bend Blue Lock over. I can feel it in my, like, I know Henri isn't, like, the most reliable of narrators, but, like, I can feel it in my bone. Like, Loki's going to do something horrific to that sounds so bad, but, like, because notably she's kind of right. Everything is perfect. Like, obviously they aren't scoring as much as I would want them to, considering they only got 3 goals so far, but their defense is working just fine. Like, everything is working out so well that there's no way France doesn't tear them a new one, right? Like that has to be the trajectory we're going down, where everything seems so simple and clean. No Yutari Hikaru, that France is going to just be a monster, an animal. And that does explain. Someone had mentioned, I believe in last review, that maybe all the new Gen World 11 members that we saw, like, flags from, that may not actually been the case, and that France may not just have Charles, may not just have Loki, but also may have a new Gen 11 on their team. And if that's the case, if they have 3 powerhouses, especially if it's like especially if it is like a strong 3-way core, where they have Loki as the striker, they have Charles as the midfielder, and then they have a good defensive, like, new Gen World 11, it may just be wraps. It may just be wraps for Japan, but let's see. Perfect. Thanks to his talent and mental fortitude, Rin Itoshi. Oh my, I feel my body screaming. Oh, I feel my body screaming. Buddy, wait, I want to get this review. Thanks to his talent and mental fortitude, Rin Itoshi is a natural-born striker who fulfills the conditions needed for a hero. His natural talents are undeniable. I mean, that is true. Once again, he is just a monster, right? Like, notably, even... It's funny now. Like I've mentioned, I've slowly but surely transformed into a Rin fan. Just not the strongest of Rin fans. I'm not the mightiest Rin rider out there, I will admit. But even before, I was like, okay, I actually do like the character, even if I don't like him as much as others do. I could never deny his skills, right? Like, could never deny his abilities, right? Like, I if anything, I didn't like him because of how cracked he was. So realistically, yeah, he was right. Like, he automatically meets the perfect conditions, and notably, the one thing I will give Rin for the hero archetype is that he's a very interesting kind of hero. Like, obviously, we know he's inspired by the heroes who, like, threw themselves into the monsters and would destroy everything around. So, like, technically, that is still a type of hero, and notably, that type of hero has been, like, exemplified, especially in recent memory, by, like, Izuku Midoriya, right? Like, the whole idea of a true hero is one who destroys themselves and sacrifices everything that they have, no matter what, in order to do what they can for the great sake of everybody else. Like, that's kind of, like, the thing. It's the reason why you hear Midoriya exaled as, like, the perfect type of hero ever. Personally, I disagree. I think Midoriya has a very unhealthy mindset, and I don't think that's how you should do heroism. But I think that's what the whole point of All Might's character and what he did was the idea that you shouldn't do heroes in that way. But regardless, My Hero Academia, whole different story, whole different idea. But essentially, the idea of the self-destructive hero is one that is interesting, but ultimately I don't think truly meets the conditions for what a hero could be, or at least what the hero should be. Even though technically Rin does fit into the idea of destroying Japanese soccer as it is, and then bringing it out into new form. But let's see. But there is one more path. There is more than one path to herohood, and we'll keep pushing them all to yearn for the limelight. That's how Blue Lock's spell will draw out their talents. Don't forget it. Right. Okay. So yeah, ultimately, that's the thing. Blue Lock, not just is. It doesn't just have the goal to create the strong striker. It doesn't just have the goal to win the U20 World Cup and then the Real World Cup beyond that. It has the goal of... it's already been 30. So yeah, this match is really, really quick. I think next to Bartra, the fastest major match in the series. This match is probably only gonna last like 3 more chapters. But with that being the case, I understand Ego's goal here, right? Sure, you technically have met the conditions for an ideal hero, right? Especially ones that fits into the idea of something so fundamentally different from Japanese soccer that it stands out and it evolves in its own unique way. I always knew Ego had a long neck, but his neck looks extremely long in this image. But I do like the idea that Ego's like, sure, there is a clear hero ahead of them, but they shouldn't give up. They shouldn't just be like, all right, fine, we'll all feed into Rin Itoshi now. If anything, the idea that there is one clearly established hero should only lead to everyone else fighting even harder. I think that is poignant. I think that is true, right? Ultimately, as beautiful as I do think it is to be inspired by others, and heck, I've been inspired by many to do many different types of things in real life and especially in the creative field, but the idea that all I want to do is look up to them isn't really a thing. You want to catch them. You want to, if not surpass them, you want to rival them so you can reach them, right? You don't want to stay far behind them. And Blue Lock is about pushing that ideal, that individualism, that ego to the point where even if there is this perfect, dreamy, idealistic hero who has all the natural talent, you can become a hero in your own way, or you can surpass him in the same way. So I'm interested. Let's see. I hate to do this to my people, but Bomb Cheeria, dog. Bomb Cheeria. Let's see. Just 15 more minutes. I cannot believe this game's already over, dog. It's all a wrap. Isagi, but you only got 15 minutes to score, Isagi. You better figure something out, big dog. Let's see. Just 15 more minutes. There's no way we can get 3 points. Japan is crazy good. But, you guys, isn't this fun as all get out? Let me think about it. You know what? I'll think of it as fun in the same way that how do I put this? When you're first learning a fighting game by your friend who knows the fighting game very, very well, beating the taste out of your mouth, right? like I've mentioned this before. When I was first learning fighters, we just got a patch and a SS4 Daima Goku's coming out eventually. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. But with it being the case, back when I was first learning fighters, I had no idea. It was like my first like real fighting game. I was a Smash Bros player. Gosh darn, I didn't really play fighting games. And I specifically remember my homie handing me the controller, us going into training mode. Boy, you look rough. Whoo, you look rough, buddy. You also look a little too bad. But with it being the case, I still remember my homie handing me the controller, us sitting down in training mode, and him just beating the taste out of me. And like occasionally he'd let me get a hit. And like that is the idea of like that was fun, if only for the fact that like I was slowly but surely kind of improving around it once I would ask him the right questions or do something. Like I get that case. But notably, I don't know. Getting the taste beaten out of me permanently isn't necessarily the most fun. Like I understand sometimes you just get raffle stomped, but I don't like that idea of consistently being outshone, outshined, outdone. Like it's not. It's the idea of what flow is based on, right? Like you don't want something to be too easy or too hard, and something being like impossibly hard. It doesn't stir or manifest a joy in me. It'd be like, but no, because it is different. It's different, right? Something like a Hollow Knight, which was my first Metroidvania. Like it was hard. Your boy's buns. I have the reaction time of a gerbil, which is not very good. I have the reaction time of a deer in headlights. Let's go even with that. But it was hard enough that I believed I could do it, and then I got through most of the game. And then I got through most of the game again in relatively speedy fashion. Just never beat it. And now I'm currently playing Silksong on stream. So like, Silksong is harder than Hollow Knight. I can say that definitively. I'm nowhere into Act 1. So like, trust me. I know for an actual factual that like there is definitely cases where getting the taste beaten out of your mouth can actually be satisfying. But in this case, where you're just like being bummy, I don't know. That's not fun. I don't know. Bello may be tweaking, dog. Let's see. Well, all of us trying to score our own egotistical goals is something I never felt before. Yeah, we're not just relying on Onazi this way. It's new and exciting. Right? It'll be hard for us to win at this point, but let's at least get a point. I mean, notably, this is their first time on the world stage, though, right? Like, it's implied that while they did dominate Africa, that's all they dominated, right? So I suppose it's just the experience. I think of it. It's like going to any sort of high tier event, even if you're buns, like you're there, you have to experience the feeling. And notably, they still technically do have 2 other chances. They're gonna get absolutely annihilated, but like, Nigeria certainly still does have 2 other chances. Even though I think they're gonna get all losses to do something, to do something. And I guess it's just that idea that they need to learn from this. They need to try at least hard enough to get 1. Like it's a concept. Okay, I have not had this blurring issue for such a hot second, man. And it's let me record for that. I'll figure out the blurring issue after Fortnite, so maybe after I finish this recording. But I understand it. Sometimes you want at least 1, at least something to go home with. All right, if you lose, at least you nicked them. You made sure that they could bleed. But honestly, at this rate, with 15 minutes, I can see them not getting a point at all. But let's see. If we can score points, I feel like something can change for us. Yeah, we can change. We will. I love all the nameless randoms are like, yeah, we can do this. And then both Anazi and Kusa are like, no. We're coming. What? How's that train go? We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're buns. Like, y'all just buns. Let's see. Okay. Once again, and I know Isagi was just about to score. Rin just glazed he was about the fact that he was just about to score. Isagi, you can't talk like this. Like, how do I explain it? How do I explain it? And like, notably, it's different from what I'm about to explain because Isagi, like, he has like recorded evidence of knowing and showing ball, right? And he's been a solid facilitator about this game. But Isagi Yoichi, at least very specifically against Nigeria, you have yet to prove yourself as a striker, right? Like specifically as a striker. Unfortunately, at this point, you've been kind of feeding the midfielder allegations. Like, extremely. It's actually kind of embarrassing. The midfielder, the defender, everything but striking. Dog, has he even had a shot attempt in what we've seen of this game? Like, he was just about to have one, but then Rin stole it. So, like, has he... Like he gave the one up to facilitate who, right? Because he bounced it was when the pass came in, and then Onazi came in the block, and then he just bounced the ball away. I think it was, like, leading into Butcher's goal. Yeah, it was leading into Butcher's goal. So, like, Isagi, I love you, I appreciate the aura, but until you score, and there are only 50 minutes left, so you better score. I can't buy this from you. Give it up. It's pointless. Like, dude, you haven't even scored. And I know, he's done other things. He's facilitated. But, like, I don't know. I guess it truly is hearing someone that you know is good give, like, orders or commands, but they just haven't, like, shown it, right? It's like hearing someone's accolades, meeting that person, and them talking a whole bunch of smack on accolades that they just haven't shown you. Right? Like, I know, I've heard ball. You're a monster, you're a beast, you're a creature, you're an animal, a heroic demon king, if you will. But so far, buddy, you've been nothing but clip farmed. By your own team. Oh, okay, not nothing. But, like, you clip farmed on them occasionally. But that wasn't to score or anything. And then you just got clip farmed on by your own team. Your own mother and father were here in the stands to watch you get used as a stepping stool and get a literal back shot. Or provide a literal back shot. Buddy, pal, amigo, I'm not sure you had the right to be talking all this spooky talk. I'm just saying. I just don't, like... I mean, again, he's like, man... And like I said, I still love Isagi. But I now ultimately, what I really want... Because once again, this is a stomp, right? Like they say, there's no way Nigeria's coming back from this. However, I need Loki to bend them over. I need Loki to spread Blue Lock's cheeks open and run them ragged. I need Blue Lock to be in such a state of unbelievable despair after facing Loki that it feeds back for all this. Specifically, I need Isagi. And it works so well, because I feel like it was set up back in the new 80s League, where Isagi talked all that smack to Loki, which ultimately, in a way, Isagi was right back then. You can go back to those reviews and you hear me defending him. But, with it being the case, Isagi had already proven himself to a degree when Loki had gotten on the field, right? He scored the goal. He scored the first goal. He had done that. And then he had the critique on Loki. So far, Isagi has done nothing but facilitate and defend, which is fine, which is still something. But still, it's not enough for you to come around talking all this spooky talk, brother. You need to prove yourself. And I'm hoping Loki comes in next game. Because, right, presumably Isagi's going to talk all this talk, score the final goal, and it being right? He'll be the idea of the other pathway to a hero. Rather than instinct and natural talent, it'll be understanding and logic that will lead to a different type of hero being born. But I do hope all of that falls. I want Loki to genuinely beat the taste out of Isagi's mouth so badly that he begins to question everything he is. And then he needs to rebuild himself during England. Because realistically, man, you're talking way too... And obviously I feel also passionate about this because he's talking about Nigeria. Like, I'm Nigerian, so whatever. But, watch your tone, bro. Watch your tone. I'm making reason this manga smack you. I was like, huh? You're just like kids who saw a movie and got temporarily worked up. You feel inspired by the movie's characters. You think you came up with the idea and decided to want to try living like that. But you're only passively taking in the most convenient parts of it. I'm telling you, this is a couple of references to the Demon Slayer movie that just recently dropped. Let's see. It's nothing but an instant ego that you can forget by the next day, after leaving the movie theater. That's not enough to change anyone. And he is right. He is right. That's the thing. I can't, as much as I'm getting on Isagi's case, you haven't done anything to prove yourself yet outside of facilitate. But technically, he is correct, right? And notably, I've even had those moments, and I've had those moments of inspiration. Admittedly, some of them I have turned into like focuses and things. Me getting the inspiration to draw every day came from me watching a movie, which I don't even remember. What was it? Well, it was a recent movie I saw. I don't even remember what movie it was. That goes to show how important it was to me. But still, that did spark my quote-unquote ego in order to complete drawing every single day. And finally die headfirst in the challenges that I've been avoiding for a while. Both drawing with ink. Well, really, it's a 3-peat challenge. What I've been doing every single day. You can check it out over on the Instagram. Because I am still a guy with a pencil. I haven't drawn for the channel in a while. But essentially, the 3-peat that I've been doing is drawing women, which I always struggled with. Drawing in ink, which I always struggle with. Naturally, I'm that guy with a pencil, so I don't usually draw in ink. And number 3, drawing hands. I suck at drawing hands. And well, and technically also 4, I'm very, very bad at doing full body shots. I don't know, I just struggle with it, especially when I'm working on small paper. Even when I'm working on big paper, I always mess up like full body shots. So I've been doing all of that at once, just to brute force it. And that came as a momentary burst of inspiration from a movie. But even then, like, creatively, like, there are certain stories, like, one of the stories I started to write, I only knew I started to write and got inspiration for certain scenes from watching a movie. But Isagi is right. It's not enough to change anyone fully. If anything, it's okay to have a boost or like a kickstart to your ego or to your change. But there does need to be a certain type of specific internal motivation. There needs to be a desire that comes from your core in order for you to truly change yourself. And sometimes, and notably though, I do agree that sometimes it can be random or frivolous, right? Like, there was nothing that really told me. Like, I can't even think of what made me really sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every single day now. But now, I go to the gym literally every single day. I think I must have been something frivolous, because I don't remember what it was, but I'm now doing it. So, like, there are definitely, you can be inspired into change by short moments, short moments of, like, egoism and desire. But I get for what Isagi means in, like, the general permanent sense, something to fuel you consistently. You do need something more fundamental than just a moment of inspiration. But what'd you say? What do you know about us? I know his team is whooping you. You're using words like we and us. Huh? Oh, Ezekiel and Ekpo. Alright, at least we got 2 new names. Let's see. We can change. What do you know about us? By turning this into the group's problem, you're avoiding the essential discomfort of what's happening. Dang, this sucks. My problem. Our problem. Hey, that's kind of true. Our problem. It'll work out somehow. If we think it's over together, there's nothing to fear. It's just mass psychology that the masses, that passes the buck, unless you stop thinking about it. I'm not saying this to all of you as a group. I'm saying it to each one of you individually. Empty your heads. Wait, sorry, Sally's voice changed a lot. But empty out your heads and consider this again for yourselves. What do you feel as you fight against Blue Lock? Okay. And you know, this, and funnily enough, going back to the gym analogy, it is true. I remember a few years ago, I tried going with my homeboy, my brother from another mother. And it just didn't work out. You know, we some were inconsistent, and then if he didn't go, I didn't feel like going. If I didn't go, sometimes he didn't feel like going. But then that was the issue, right? I was relying on somebody else. I was like, oh, well, you know, if we're not going, this is that and the third. It is only through locking in specifically for your Baba Booey boy, something that was a problem that was for me. I need to get in shape. I need to go get my gains up. That I was able to push myself, regardless of anything else. Even same thing with content creation, right? If you've been around since the ancient days, and I do mean the ancient, I'm talking long time on the channel. You know, for the past, I was, for very long swaths of time, I was very inconsistent. Heck, I still have my moments of occasional just disappearing. But now, the reason y'all get content every single day, the reason patrons and members are getting early content, where, like, I'm just sitting down, I'm recording, and it's up. Like I said, this video won't come out, it's being recorded on Tuesday. Patrons will have it by, like, Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning. And then it won't drop until Thursday. And then there's content that I'm recording today that I know for a fact will not drop until Sunday, but patron members are going to have it. Because you become patron for those 1 month, become member for those 3 months to get access to early content, is very specifically just because it was a problem I addressed to myself. I was like, I need to do this. I need to lock in. I'm the content creator, man. Let me create the content. Literally, another thing for, like, on the other side, like TikTok, I always just recorded like my 6 videos a day the day of. I had a little bit of free time. I sat down. I recorded. Bang! Like I said, I'm recording on Tuesday. All the TikToks are done through like Friday. I have 18 videos just sitting in my drafts right now that are done, fully edited, fully ready to go. Just ready to go. I have 2 like 2 drawings at an event, just because I've taken it upon myself. I've taken that responsibility, because a lot of it is true. A lot of the idea of where you can place the blame and how effectively you can place blame in order to change it and turn it into something is truly by putting it on yourself. Now, I'm not saying over blame yourself. I'm not saying if nothing succeeds at first, you should just fall into a well of despair. But 9 out of 10 times, if it is something you can change, try and change it. Try and go crazy. Try and go stupid. Try and go like wild out on yourself, because you are yourself. You're the only person who can really hold yourself fully accountable for the things that you do have control over. The many things in life you don't have control over, and I'm never gonna blame anybody for feeling like they can't do anything within the bounds of their control. If you literally do not have the physical time to go gym, then you can't. If you physically cannot afford the things to do that you want to do, like, then that's fine. But as long as you have the means and you have the will, man, make it happen. Make it happen. Do you think I like waking up at 4:40 every morning and then driving an hour to work? No. But these bills gotta pay some. These bills ain't gonna pay themselves, and these gains ain't gonna get themselves. And while I could wait till the end of the day, I'm lazy. And I think that's the other important thing. You can be a fundamentally lazy person. I am a fundamentally lazy person. I am. I'm a very lazy. I'm a lazy, silly fella. I'm a little silly Billy who's very lazy. But sometimes you just gotta lock in. You gotta tell yourself, hey, doesn't matter. What do I feel? What do I need? Who am I? And if you are comfortable, that's fine. I think it's actually good to be comfortable. But at the same time, sometimes if you want to lock in, you gotta lock in. And I'm talking as a person who still needs to lock in on many other things. I need to fix my diet permanently. I want to eat a donut so bad right now, but I'm literally full from Din Din. But okay, Onazi. Frustration. I don't want it to end like this. Someone pointed out that they had a different interpretation on the panel. Okay, yeah, and notably, the cover for Onazi sort of took it as like a sad thing that Onazi was abandoning what he stood for and then was just going to chase what Blue Lock had. Technically, I do like the interpretation that the commenter mentioned, where it isn't really that. It's Onazi being inspired to change by experiencing Blue Lock and reaching out to catch up to them while still maintaining, like, he literally still has a grip on the beads around his neck, right? Or like the necklace he had. So he's reaching out as in he wants to connect and reach them and surpass them while still keeping core to who he is. I think that's a better interpretation. Mine was just straight for the negative. So like, that was my bad. Let's see. Frustration. I don't want it to end like this. But I feel like, as I am now, I'll never win against Blue Lock, and you won't. You will not see them again. I'm sorry, Onazi. We may literally never see you again this nerd. Like, unless we do end up getting a full World Cup arc, or like a club arc, man, no, definitely like a real World Cup arc. We're probably never seeing you again, Onazi. I think big rips for Potato Chip. Let's see. I'll never win against Blue Lock. Onazi. Yeah, that's good. Do you want to make memories with your friends? No. Or maybe you want the title of Nigeria's hero. No! I want to be the best striker in the world! It won't happen. Never. But that's what you need. Right. Then come crush me and change your life, egotist. Okay, Isagi. Wait, hold on, let me see. You're the real deal, Yoichi Isagi. That burning, insatiable ego of yours. Where does it come from? That's a good question. Where does it come from, Mr. Yoichi? Curiosity in myself. 44 days ago, Yoichi Isagi's ego and he's entering. It's a wraps. He's gonna steal that ball and immediately score. But that is actually very true for him. Notably, I'd like to think that a lot of even my own personal, and obviously, I can't directly relate to Isagi in many ways. Like I said, I was really interested in soccer, but I think a lot of my own personal developments and a lot of my like shifts in dedication and mindset that have led to certain things, that if you were to go 5 years in the past and tell that version of me that I would post every single day and be like concurrently covering what? Sakamoto Days, Ichi the Witch, Kagurabachi, Blue Lock, Four Knights, Free Rin, Chainsaw Man, and what else? There's even more that I'm missing. I drop in and out on Gachiko. Like, essentially, 7 videos. 7 videos a week. once I was doing even more than that, right? Like if you were to go back in time and tell the past me, I'd look at you funny. I'd be like, there's no way I'm doing that. That takes way too much time. I don't have the time for that. But I did back then. I just didn't lock in. If you were to go back to that version of me and tell me, yeah, you go to the gym every single day, every day, no matter what, rain or shine. If you have other things planned that day, you just wake up early in the morning, you go get it done. I've also like, there's no way I can do that. I don't have the time because sometimes you do just need to be curious about yourself. You need to wonder what your own capacities are. What's your own? How can I structure my life? Even if I don't see it now, what can I do to make it so? And sometimes it is insane. Sometimes it is like a matter of madness to fully dive into a possibility of a possibility. And sometimes you do fail. Hi, it's me, guy who fails all the time. But it is in that failure. It is in that consistent hunger, that desire to better understand and even fundamentally define oneself, that I think you truly reach your finest points of development. I think of all my own points of, maybe not ego transformation, I'm not literally Isagi, but my own points of massive development and self-understanding have come from those ideas or those times where I allow myself to be consumed by the hunger to see what I can really do. Can I go even further beyond? Let me try it. Oh, I can't that time? Fine, let me try again at a later date. And then sometimes I did. Sometimes things clicked. Funny thing is, the reaction channel was meant to be born way earlier than this year. I just didn't do it, but then I finally sat down and said, we're gonna do it! And I did. And now there's a second reaction channel. It has, 4 videos up now? 4? And presumably tomorrow, the only reason it may not be live tomorrow is because they recorded, 2 of those. I want to get head on that, too. But, that's the thing. There's these ideas of times where, I just want to push myself because I want to know what pencil can do. What are my own limits? What are my own abilities? And I need to branch out further. Just like I was talking about how Rin is essentially kind of narrow-minded in his focus of destruction and how he needs to spread out to the entire world. I need to spread out this curiosity about myself to all of creation. And then sort of in a way where I can understand, okay, not only should I be curious about what myself can do for myself and for others, but what can I do to broaden my own scope so I can reach out to others more clearly? That idea of that ever-consistent desire to grow and evolve, specifically out of curiosity for oneself, I understand it so perfectly. Not perfectly, but I understand it very, very well. So overall, not only once a week, but a W chapter. If you've been always seeing this video, please do me a favor and leave the need to know. The need to know in the comment section down below. I like that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that make sure you hit that little notification so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you have a Patreon below. You support me for as well. So get a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, now become a member of the channel for as well as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include live reactions to the series I am to review, and reactions of all my videos, and you become a $20 Patreon and $20 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, you link to my Ko-Fi in the description below. You can drop 5 views of a short video, 20 views of a long video, or any views at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. And I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Enzo, Swift Strike, Super Flame 0, Yuki Ally, Azo2404, Striker Man, Aso8, Grim, Black Sage, Marco 222, Straw, Twisted, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Official Popeyes, and Ramondo Furen. I'd like to give a thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, Sean, and Midnight Lord 21. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our Inc tier members: Austin Wimberly Auchia, King RTX, and then Shrimpo, the 4th Shrimp 06. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: Jay Warrior and AZ Void. I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Walking Munoz and Walking Munoz.